This is the first recording I've ever done for this podcast, and I just wanted to share some real honest situations and days that happen. You know, when you wake up and you just feel down, you just feel really, really down. And sometimes you have reasons and sometimes you don't know the reason. And I guess today I'll share a bit about why I'm feeling down and what I'm doing to get myself out of this funk, you know? So I woke up and I just felt a bit blue, and it could be that, when I get my period, you have those, often it's just the hormones. But another factor which I realize is bugging me is I feel really dumb about something I did on the 24th. So on the 24th, I paid a writer, and I don't like paying my writers late. So I was in a hurry. I think might have been traveling at the time. So the writer finished her work. So I wanted to make sure she got the money. So I went into my inbox and searched for her name and put in name, bank details, and then boom, sent it across, right? And I got an email yesterday asking, she said I didn't get the money. And number one, I felt quite embarrassed because I always try and pride myself in paying my writers on time. And I was also really confused. And so I went in back to my email and looked at my transaction. I was like, no, I definitely paid her. I definitely paid this girl. And then I realized, right? I had paid the wrong writer who had the same name. They had the same name. And it's on me. It's totally on me, right? I should have checked the full name, but I was in a hurry. And it was around 600 ringgit, which is about $127, which isn't a huge amount, but it's also not a small amount. But I'm trying to understand why I felt down about this. And the reason why I feel blue or is bugging me is because, number one, we're on the 5th or 6th of May. Now I can't remember the date, but we are way past the 24th of April. And that person who received the money, who is a previous writer for me, and she stopped writing for me in 2021, they didn't get in touch with me. So they got 600 ringgit or $127 into their bank account. They knew it was from me, but they didn't say anything. And number one, that bothers me because for me, when it comes to money, we have to be honest, right? So I thought, okay, maybe you could argue she's rich, she doesn't notice money going to her account, fine. So I sent her an email and I sent her an Instagram message because that's how we communicate. And I looked at my previous Instagram message to her in 2021. And I was really supportive. I was reassuring her. I was teaching her. I was coaching her. She was really, she came to me as a writer with no experience. And so she had a lot of self-doubt. She was really nervous. And I remember the last messages I have to her are me saying, don't worry, you can do it. Be kind to yourself. Keep going. And so I treated this girl, with kindness and compassion and respect. As far as I know, we left things on a good note. And she's ignored my message and she's ignored my email. It's been 24 hours, right? You could argue, well, it's just 24 hours. But it just makes me feel really dumb, and I feel really hurt that someone would do that, because I wouldn't, if I've had one other situation before where I sent to the wrong person, and immediately they replied to me, and she was an amazing person, single mom, and I said, keep the money. She came to me, said to me, hey, I think you sent the wrong person. And I said, keep it, because I knew she needed that money. But to me, it's the fact that it's been, I don't know how many weeks, it's been more than 7 days. They know that, 600 ringgit or $127 has gone in their account, and they know it's from me because my name will be shown. And they know me. I've worked with them, and they've pretended like they haven't received it. And when I've messaged them, they've ignored me, and I've emailed them, they ignore me, and it just bums me out, okay? So I just want you to know there's going to be times when you make dumbass mistakes like this, and it gets you down, okay? And I guess another thing that's bothering me is I think I'm going to get my period, so I feel ugly. That's another thing. It's a reality. Sometimes we all face. And I'm having a disagreement with a loved one, not my partner, but a family member. And it's an ongoing disagreement. I don't really talk about family. I try not to. But it bugs me. It really bugs me because I'm quite close to my family. And it bugs me because I'm setting boundaries, learning to do things a bit different. as I grow older and, embark on new chapters with my husband, you have to set boundaries sometimes. And some people don't like those boundaries. And it leads to disagreement. And then you have to face the pain of that disagreement. And that bums me out. So I just want you all to know that there are days where you're going to wake up and all this is like clouding your head. And how are you going to tackle a day of work when you got all this, swirling around your brain and it affects you, like how you feel inside is going to affect, how you carry on your day. And I just want to share, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm going to do to get me out of this funk. And maybe you can try it if you ever wake up with a bad day. And so I wrote down, so I've literally got my journal right in front of me, and I wrote down the things that are bothering me. And I wrote down, why are you feeling down? And my first entry here is, I feel stupid that I sent that money and to the wrong person. And I feel hurt that she's ignoring me and knowing that it's not her money, knowing that I helped her. So I said, I feel stupid and hurt. And I also feel a bit tired, like, how I have to go about and fight to get this money back. If I want, if I want to go through with it, I have to contact the banks, and then I don't know the procedure to get the money back. I probably won't get it back. And so I just feel a bit tired about that and angry that I have to go through that when it's to a person that I helped before. And then I wrote, I'm sad about the disagreement with my family. And I said, I've written here in my journal, I feel a lot of pressure. I feel pressure with work. I feel so much pressure to perform, to achieve my goals, to do X and Y. And I wake up with that pressure often on a lot of days. Okay. So if you feel that some days you wake up with huge pressure, just know that you're not alone. That a lot of other people wake up and be like, oh my God, I've got 10 million things to do. I need to do this. If I don't, I'm going to fall behind. That is something that I think a lot of people face. You feel like rush, have to get on and move it. Okay. And another thing I've got an entry here is I feel worried about the future. And this is a recurring theme of mine I'm trying to work on, I am a bit of a worry wart, and I do worry a lot unnecessarily. And I worry about this and I worry about that. That could happen, this could happen. And it's exhausting. It's so tiring. And yeah, I put here, I worry about the future. So, and then finally I just put here, I feel ugly. I feel so ugly. And I, it's like, that's the truth, when you're feeling that time of the month, you feel fat, you feel ugly. I feel like I look like a scabby toe. That's the truth. And so what I've done, okay, so this is what I do when I feel down, is I write it all down, the things that are bothering me, and then I write the solution next to it. And so, for example, the one where I said, I feel stupid about, I feel stupid and hurt. I said, number one, it's $127. Okay, it's money, right? I can make that back. I can make that 600 ringgit back. It's money at the end of the day. If I could make that before, I can make it again. Draw a line. Don't let $127 dictate your day and your life. You know what I mean? Like, don't let that amount determine how you're going to feel for the day. Number one. Number two is, maybe she needs that money, right? If I don't get that money back, maybe she's struggling to pay her rent. Maybe she needs it way more than me. And honestly, if you're the kind of person that does that, man, what kind of life do you have? If you can turn around to somebody that's helped you and coached you and guided you and take their money that's not meant for you and ignore them, if you do that to someone who helped you, how do you treat other people in your life? What is the quality of your life like, right? Definitely, like Oprah said, everything that's, I can't remember the quote now, what goes around comes around. She said, everything you put out into the world comes back to you tenfold. It's Newton's, I think, law of physics. And I really, really, truly believe this. What you put out into the world comes back. If you're bitching about other people, if you're mean to other people, my gosh, it will come back to you tenfold. You're wondering why, why you're feeling, I just truly, truly think the more goodness you want, the more goodness you have to give first. The universe will bring it back to you. I know it's a bit fruity there, okay, guys? Just bear with me, okay? And so that's number one. I just said, listen, it's $127. I can make that again, and I'm not going to let that dictate my day. Number two is maybe she needs it, okay? Try and find a solution. I'll call the banks today, and then I'll move on. That's it. Number two, about the disagreement with my family. I said, with a family member, I said, sometimes it's necessary to feel the pain to fix a situation. Sometimes you need boundaries, and it's a short-term pain. It may not be short-term. It's the pain that you experience. It's a pain that you experience in order to grow and have a more peace. And so I'm setting boundaries, and that's, unfortunately, the person doesn't like that boundary, and I have to just sit with that. Number 3 was with the pressure with work. I put here, no rush. Listen, no rush. There will always be work. You don't have to get everything done today. I literally wrote that. I can't understand my writing. I have really ugly writing. This is a live tip, guys. When you write a journal, please write in writing that actually you can understand. Nowhere else needs to understand it. But if you have written in your journal and you don't understand your own writing, that is a problem, okay? If you don't, it says here, no rush. There will always be work. I can't understand my writing. That's the reality. But basically, I told myself, there will always be work. You have no rush. You have time. Okay? You have time. You don't have to get it all done. I know you have goals, and I know you have targets and deadlines. But to be honest, no one dies if you don't get it done. And so that's what I put. And finally, I worry about the future. And I didn't have a solution for that. I just put enjoy it, and I underlined it. Enjoy it, because I'm the youngest that I'm going to be. You're the youngest you're ever going to be today. And that's it, really. Worrying about the future, often 80% of our worries, I think it was 90% of our worries, never materialize. And we are ruining the now. And we're going to look back and be like, man, I wish I enjoyed life a bit more. And the final one, he's like, I feel ugly. And I would just put next to it, period. Come on, girls. Sometimes, it's a reality, It's a reality of what we feel every month when you have your period. So I just got to accept that I'm not ugly. I'm not an ugly duckling. It's just hormones. Obviously, even if I was ugly, so what? I do truly believe that I have a kind heart, and hopefully that kindness and that beauty from within shines through. And, my Irish man seems to love me and find me attractive. So that's it. That's the most important thing, right? So yeah, that's what I did. Step 1 is I wrote down how I'm feeling, the problems, and then the solution. So that's step 1. I journal. Number 2, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some makeup on, because if I'm feeling ugly, sometimes, I've got a shower. I've put on some nice clothes on that I feel good in, and I'm going to put makeup on so I look presentable to myself, and that'll perk me up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some work done. I'm actually going to just tackle something small, something important, but something small. Just think for the next right step, the next right task. I don't need to figure it all out today. I just need to do one main big task that's going to move the needle today. That's it. That's my focus, okay? And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to reward myself, and I can look forward to this. I'm going to reward myself with a walk this evening along the river. And I'm also going to, hopefully, if I can, I found a greenway, which is basically an old railway turned into a cycling route. And I'd like to cycle this weekend and maybe do over 40, 50 kilometers if I can. And that'll make me feel good. I love being outside. I love cycling. I love staying fit. And I look forward to that. And that's soon. That's going to be in 2 days. So I feel like, sometimes this is the process that I go through when I'm feeling down. And I hope that, I hope you know that some days we all wake up and feel down, but it's unavoidable. But we can do little things to kind of move ourselves forward rather than sitting in bed all day, just moping. I was going to do that. I was like, I'm going to just read a book, but that's not going to help me. I need to get up and move, and movement, movement helps, to be honest. And so this is what I'm going to do, and if you're feeling down, write down the problem, write down the solution, journal how you're feeling, make yourself nice and presentable, get some immediate tasks done. You'll feel good, and then plan something that you enjoy for the future. Okay. And so I don't know if I'll share this episode. It's my first one, but I thought sometimes you just need to take action. And, I hope if you are listening to this, you find it useful. And I wish you a great day. And I'm sending you lots and lots of success and peace and happiness.